So I'll be totally real with you guys. I'm a lot more broke this summer than I thought I was going to be at the beginning of this year. And although I am taking steps to remedy that, it does mean that doing things to my car like I wanted to do is not really the most financially responsible decision at the moment. And while in the past I have made plenty of non-financially responsible decisions, I'm trying to change that as someone who is now an adult. So what do you do when you want to do things to your car and you just can't because of other financial responsibilities? Well, there's lots of little things that you can fix, and one that we're going to focus on today is something incredibly small, but basically something I'm going to do for free that will make a difference in how I view my vehicle. Let me show you. As you can see, the wiper arms on the Mustang have seen better days. They're just really worn out and the paint is just flaking right off. And even where it's not necessarily flaking off, it's still very, very dull and not like a nice, shiny or fresh, deep looking black. Well, I happen to have a lot of just kind of old spray paint sitting around, so I have this Krylon flat black paint, so we're just gonna go ahead and take the wipers off and just hit him with a coat of the flat black, and I think that alone will make a big difference. It's a small thing where no one would ever notice that it is, you know, nicer looking, but it's when something like this is the case where someone might notice it's not nicer looking. And I think it's really important that you fix the little things on a car that you really enjoy, and it will just help you enjoy it that much more, because there's a lot of things that we can nitpick about our cars, but just fixing these little projects is really satisfying and is something that we can easily do. Caden is also here so that he can help us, right buddy? He's not interested. He'd rather just sniff the tire of mom's car. Is that right? Is that right, buddy? Again, why are you always so timid in videos? Are you nervous? Are you nervous out here for some reason? I don't know why you're so nervous right now. We rescued Caden a couple years ago, and he's just always been a little bit of a nervous boy. So I don't know what that's all about, what his history was. He was very young when we got him, but we take as good a care of as we can now, so that's good. I don't know if I actually said that sentence properly. Oh well. But another quick example of something that I fixed for very inexpensive is this right here. This is not the finest looking craftsmanship of all time, but this is the little plastic line that runs the washer fluid from the washer fluid reservoir over here up to the nozzles, which are in the hood, basically behind this little cowl. And this had come disconnected. I assume they probably just didn't take those nozzles out when they sprayed the hood black, the previous owner, whenever they did that. And they probably just ripped it right apart. So I just connected each end of the line with this little rubber hose, and hey, lo and behold, all of a sudden we have washer fluid, which is nice. And it's not like that's a huge deal by any means, but just having the entire car be functional is a really nice feeling. And it doesn't take a lot of work to accomplish, all things considered, or a lot of money. I had this rubber line just sitting around. It's just some small, I don't know, little like 1/4-inch vacuum line or something like that. Connected it right up. Is it perfect? No, but it works, and I am a lot more satisfied having that be functional, even though it's not the most perfect repair I've ever seen. And when I have more money later, maybe I'll replace the whole line and then it will be perfect. But in the meantime, the car is functional, and I'm happy about that. So let's go ahead and take these wiper blades off so that we can go ahead and get started with this video. Also, if there's a sudden cut where I'm wearing completely different clothes, or maybe I mention it like an actual person who's good at doing YouTube car content, then that is probably because I most likely am not going to finish this video tonight as I'm recording it, because I have to go to work here shortly. But by the time you see this video, it will obviously be finished. So these wiper blades have a little cap on them. It's a little rubber cap that covers over the bolt, if it'll focus on that. It probably won't with my face right there. There we go. Pull out the ridiculously oversized snap-on ratchet, which is one of the reasons why I'm broke. Just kidding. I actually got this ratchet on sale, otherwise I probably would not have bought it. It was still expensive, but it is a really nice ratchet, so. And it should be pretty obvious where these wipers were resting, because there's marks on the windshield where basically there's like a water line, but if your windshield's really clean and you're not 100% sure where the wipers are resting, you can always just mark where they are with like some masking tape or something like that. Now we'll take the wipers off of them, which is really easy with these ones, which is nice because not all of them are. Let's go ahead and get these ready to sand down and paint it up. Now I sanded the first one. I'm using 120 grit sandpaper because it's what I have. Again, this whole project's kind of about what I got laying around, and that's what I have. This is probably not the perfect sandpaper to use to get like a super amazing finish with, well, any paint, but spray paint. And, you know, I'm one who typically tries to preach good prep work when it comes to painting, but on this, in the spirit of this is what I have laying around, and also, I mean, these aren't gonna be perfect. I really don't care if they're perfect. It's all about just getting them just that little bit better, and just kind of making sure there's no obvious paint that's chipping off or edges that need to be smoothed out. And the rest of it, just lightly scuffing, just so that I make sure the paint actually adheres to it. It doesn't really need to be that much of a science. Believe me, if I saw a tutorial of someone trying to tell people how to paint stuff and this is how they were doing it, I would be disappointed in them, so please don't take this the wrong way. Okay, make sure we wipe those off good, and there we are. One other thing to note though too is that prep work aside, if you want to have good results while painting, it does need to be the right conditions outside in order for that to work. So we're in pretty decent painting conditions right now, and you know, sun's out for the time being. Oftentimes if I'm painting something black, I'll just paint it right on my trailer because God forbid I get some overspray onto it. It's already just kind of shoddy black paintwork. So this will do, so let's go ahead and get spraying. Well, that looks like a coat of paint if I've ever seen one. So, this being flat black, it doesn't take too long to dry, so we'll probably get one more coat on this before I leave for work. And yeah, I mean, they're all the way black now. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be better, and it's looking better. I was also thinking I might paint the deck lid on the Mustang at some point. On the newer Mustangs, this is actually like a separate panel. On this one, it is just part of the trunk, but someone previously has, I mean, it looks like just flat black spray painted this, and they like masked around the badge, it looks like, instead of just removing it to paint it. So we might try to sand this down and paint this also flat black in the future and just see if we can improve it instead of buying a deck lid panel. So we'll see about that, but for today, we're probably not going to do this. We're just gonna focus on those wiper blades, and we'll put another coat on those in a few minutes and get back to you with the results. All right, well, this is our fourth coat on here. I literally just laid it on, and this stuff like flashes off so fast. So it's already nice and smooth. You can see just the light little bit of texture. It's not bad at all. I will certainly take it. It looks way better than it did before. And there are like a couple little tiny marks where you can kind of sort of see that maybe if the camera will figure out what it's doing, like a couple tiny little marks where there was a little bit of a splatter coming out of the can. Like I said, it is kind of old paint. All in all, I'm very happy with what we got here. One thing that I am too dumb to think about is that I didn't cover where the splines are, so they might be a little bit tighter than they were because of the paint, but it's not like I was spraying directly into that opening very much, but I'm sure some paint got on where the splines are. So if you're going to do this, maybe cover those, just put like a little piece of tape on the inside there is the thing I would recommend. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and leave these like overnight just to dry for probably 24 hours or so. I might take them in after they've cured enough to handle within like a few hours. Take them in when I get back from work, and we will close this video out on the next day. All right, it's a different day. It's the same shirt. Don't read too much into that. And Caden is here, and he's so excited right now for some reason. He's just pumped.
Come here, buddy. Hi, bud. How you doing? You good boy?
He's in just an extra good mood, so good for him. That makes me happy. And we have finished up with the wiper blades, so this is the final product of the paint, hopefully. I can get that to focus on there. That's the final finish on it. I think that it looks pretty good, all things considered. So I am pretty happy with that. Now I'm gonna make the camera not focus on that random spot. they look a lot better. They just kind of look stock, which is cool. That's sort of what I was going for. So we're gonna go ahead and slap them on the car real quick, and then we'll go ahead and close out this video. All right, so I believe this slightly shorter arm is the driver's side. So we will go ahead and snap that wiper onto there. It's looking way better than it was before, so I'm definitely happy about that. We'll just see how it is. Got my keys that I left inside like a dork. Alright, well that seems about right. Looks like that pretty much lined up exactly with where it was before, so that's fine with me. And yeah, those are looking way better. I just got washer fluid all over them, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe them off and show you guys what the final product looks like. All right, and this is the final product, and I think that they're looking really, really good. They basically just look factory. And I know this is such a small thing, but it's just one of those things where the fact that the paint was chipping off of them has just been bugging me since I got the car. And it's just one more thing not to be concerned about with the car, which is just a really nice feeling. I'm just super duper happy with this result. You look at this, and if you just watched the end of this video without seeing what we did, you would probably not know what I was talking about, but that's kind of the point. And I'm probably going to get to this soon too. It's just bugging me. I mean, obviously the car's really dirty right now too, and that doesn't help, but like the fact that they did such a bad job masking around the badge and stuff like that, and like it's not totally smooth. Like even here, there's like just some weird marks in the paint and stuff. I just know that I can do better, so we're probably gonna work on this real soon too. But if you could take anything from this video, there's a lot of little things you can do to your car with stuff that's just laying around at your house, or bare minimum. You can buy these materials for super cheap, and you can fix some basic things that are bugging you about your car without spending a bunch of money on it. And for people like me who right now don't have a ton of extra money to spare for my hobbies, this is something that is incredibly satisfying for me. I love working with my hands, even on super simple stuff like this. And look at the result. I'm really proud of it. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. We have the goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We are really, really close. We are, I think, currently at date of filming at 897. So if you can help us reach that goal, please consider doing so. And if you really enjoyed the video, maybe even hit the like button. That also really helps out. So thank you again, and I will see you guys all in the next one.